Hi, my name is Joanna Davies. I'm the Effingham County Case Manager here at the Effingham Public Library. And we have been helping a lot of people who have had claims fraudulently filed in their name for unemployment. And now that we're entering tax season, we want to let people know about the identity protection pin that you can get to help protect you from further fraudulent activity. And we've got Matt Cekander here from Doehring and Winders, CPA. He's a CPA. He's the expert who's going to answer all our questions.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
You can do it. So tell us, what is the IP PIN?
Okay. The IP PIN is Identity Protection Personal Identification Number. It's IRS's unique 6-digit ID that connects you to the IRS that this is you filing this tax return. There's been a lot of buzz about fraudulent tax returns being filed. And our understanding is the way that the scam works is the perpetrators try to e-file as soon as possible before the real return makes it to the IRS. And then that blocks the real return. Meanwhile, this person has received the refund. So what the IP PIN does, the Identity Protection PIN number does, is IRS will not accept the e-filed return to them or the paper filed return. There's a spot by your signature. You put that. If the return is missing that, it will be rejected from the IRS and they will say, sorry, we can't accept this.
Got it. So for all our hundreds of people we've helped who've had these fraudulent claims, what I've been telling them is contact your tax preparer to see if this is the right thing for you, or if they do it themselves, where do they go to get that IP PIN?
Okay, if you the web address is a mouthful. I have it down, but if you look up irs.gov, G-O-V, and then put an IP PIN, you're gonna look for a blue button that says click here or get an IP PIN. For the first time in 2021, you can opt in and do that. Before you had to wait for the IRS to send it to you, to mail it to you. Now they will never email you, they won't call you, they won't text you and ask you for that. If they do, that's a scammer trying to get it from you, so don't answer that. They will communicate with you on their website, irs.gov, get an IP PIN, and when you go in there, it's going to ask you to log in, so you're going to need your last year 1040. If you don't file, then you don't need an IP PIN unless you're getting notices that someone's filing on your behalf. But whenever you fill out the application, you'll need your name, social security number, address, and last year's tax return. They're going to ask for the adjusted gross income to make sure it's you.
Okay. And then they'll mail you the IP PIN number.
Yes, right. And it could take within a week, or if you're doing the paper form, there's a form 5227. Again, form 5227 if you'd rather do it via paper application. That could take up to 3 weeks to receive it. Right now we're in January of 2021, and IRS has announced they're not going to accept e-files until February 12th. So now is the time to do it if you're going to be doing it, and then you're set up ready to go. If you think you are a victim of identity theft or something's going on, I would get in there and just apply for it now so that you have it and you're ready for the e-filing time. The other thing is, because we know it seems the pattern of the fraudsters or the people that are scamming for these tax returns is because they're trying to do it as early as possible to get your return filed. The sooner the better if you've been a victim of identity theft, to get the actual tax return in first.
Okay, so if you've been a victim of identity theft, get your IP PIN as soon as possible.
Right.
Okay, and then once the IP PIN is created in this IRS system, does someone get a different IP PIN every single year?
We've had both instances where, first of all, the IP PIN is unique to that specific year. So it's a 6-digit number, and then the next year the IRS mailed them a new 6-digit number. The next year they did. The following year they didn't receive it. The return was still accepted. So our understanding is there may be a time where you don't need it somewhere down the road, but if you've received one recently, most likely you're going to be then set up, again, this is brand new, where you can optionally request the IP PIN. But once you have it, I would continue requesting it if there's any question about your identity theft. But you will need it, and you'll know right away too, because when you go to file that e-file return, or you're working, whether you're doing it by yourself, or you're using an off-the-shelf product, or working with a tax preparer, it will reject almost within 24 hours, if not sooner, that, hey, this is missing an IP PIN. You need to put that in there. So you'll know right away if there's something amiss, or if you need to request that. We've had individuals lose IP PINs before, and you can request another one within the IRS. Again, it takes time. We're hoping with this Get an IP PIN tool now, once you verify yourself, that will expedite that though.
Okay. So let's say I don't get an IP PIN,
Okay.
and someone, these bad actors, beats me to filing a return in my name.
Okay.
What do I do then?
You still file your return as if nothing happened. Now, when you go to e-file it, most likely IRS is going to say we've already have a duplicate Social Security number with this filing. They're not going to accept it. And then you've got to do the paper file, and you're going to fill out a form on it too, where you certify this is my return. What happens then, as IRS has explained it to us, they'll have in their database that there's two returns. There's this paper return that was filed in California, because that's how the real return went in your scenario, and they have the e-file. Then they'll do their investigation. At that point, you should look for mail from the IRS, not a phone call asking you information, which is possibly the scammers trying to get some information. We've heard a lot of those questions, so just always be on guard if you get any phone call from the IRS. IRS does not call individuals, so just if IRS says they're on the phone, it's not them, unless there's an appeals or something going on in a court case. That might be different.
Okay.
But yes, they won't contact you that way. So in that case, you do the paper file to answer your question. Paper file with your certification that this is your tax return, and wait for mailed correspondence on the next steps. And it will take a while for them to resolve that.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Clear as mud, right? No. Thank you for clarifying the IP PIN. That was new to me, and I was told you should let people know about this, and we thought, let's get an expert in here to explain that for everyone.
Right. Well, even if you want to be proactive and you're not sure if you had identity theft or not, because Illinois has been hit pretty hard recently, there's nothing wrong with proactively doing it. I'm not saying to go look for additional work to get that IP PIN, but now we have that as an option if you want to be proactive.
Got it. Thank you. And they can contact you at Doehring and Winters to get help with that if they need help with that.
Yeah.
Or your tax preparer to help figure all that out.
Or go to the irs.gov IP PIN, and there's a really good resource page with the link, and then the frequently asked questions
Got
too.
it. So do it yourself if you can.
Yeah, it's pretty user friendly.
Good. That's nice of the IRS to do that for us. Okay, so if I'm going to go back to what we do in the Effingham County Case Manager's office. If someone has received a letter from the unemployment office saying that you filed for unemployment and you haven't done so, you can come in and see us Monday through Thursday from 9 to 1 at the Effingham Public Library. Bring any paperwork you've received, and we will get that stopped with the unemployment office. And then we'll give you a checklist of things to do to protect your identity. One of those talks about the IP PIN, and we have lots of other things that people need to do. So do come and see us if that happens to you. Is there anything else you want to say about upcoming tax season?
Now's the time to be getting your records in order with the February 12th and not starting till then. Just be prepared because there'll probably be some other ramifications of this filing season getting started so late. So get your tax documents in order. Have your documentation ready if you got the economic impact payment, the first one or the second one. If you did not, let the tax preparer know. It's called the recovery rebate credit. So you can request the recovery rebate credit. It amounted to, the second round was $600 per adult and per dependent. The first round was $600 per adult. So if you're married filing jointly, it's $1,200. And then $500 per dependent, up to $150,000 of adjusted gross income. So if you did not get that, you can claim it on your 2020 tax return. Look for if you see the recovery rebate credit, that's your spot to put that in.
Got it, yeah. And we also help with that. If you can't find your stimulus payment and you're not computer savvy, we can help you check the Get My Payment tool on the IRS website. And it sometimes usually says where your payment is.
Yeah, if you're a non-filer, you typically don't file. The tool to request that stimulus money is now closed, but you can file a 2020 tax return. Again, you just name Social Security and the address, and do it. You can even do it with zeros if you don't have any income sources, or maybe you just have Social Security or disability or something. You can file that in there. There won't be any tax due, but it will unlock that what will amount to the economic impact payment at that point, that EIP. So you could get it that way too. And that's if you have under 63,000. I think it's under $63,000 of adjusted gross income. It might be 72,000 now. Sorry, it's somewhere in that range, the 65 to 70,000 range. You can do the free e-file from irs.gov and request it at that point.
Great. Hopefully not many people have to do that, but they might. All right. Well, thanks for being here with us and answering these tough questions. I appreciate it, and best of luck to you in this tax season. Again,
Good
I'm
questions.
Joanna with the Effingham Public Library at the Effingham Case Manager's Office. As always, we make community happen.
Thank you.